Hello, I'm going to explain about reference. Here I have two pictures and one word above, and the word is trunk. If you see this picture, these two pictures have the same English word and it is trunk. For the first one is a part of or an element of a tree, and then the second is a trunk. Trunk is part of body of an animal, precisely an elephant. Okay, first I will give you the meaning of a referring expression. A referring expression is a piece of language, a noun phrase that is used in an utterance and is linked to something outside language, some living or dead imaginary entity or concept or group of entities or concept. That something is the referent, not necessarily physical nor necessarily real. Here is the example. Fred hit me. Fred is the referring expression. There is a particular person in the speaker's mind. So Fred is the referring expression of this sentence. But for the second, Fred in, there is no referring expression. The speaker does not have a particular person in mind while uttering this word. Okay. A referring expression is not a referent. The phrase a carrot can be a referring expression, but it is not a carrot. There is no natural connection between referring expression and referent. Some ancient philosophers and ancient and medieval etymologists held the opinion that here is, or once was, a natural relation between symbol and what is symbolized, but this is simply not so. Two or more referring expressions may have the same referent, but they do not necessarily have the same meaning. Okay, here is extension and intension. The extension of a lexeme is the set of entities which it denotes. The extension of dog includes all collies, Dalmatians, Descants, mongrels, and etc. that have ever lived or will ever live, and every fictitious creature that is accepted as being a dog. The intension of any lexeme is the set of properties shared by all members of the extension. Okay. Extension has to do with reference, but reference, as we know, is not all of meaning. The lexemes violin and fiddle have the same extension. Extension can change while intention remains the same. Here are some different kinds of reference. Three kinds of different in reference are concrete and abstract, unique and non-unique, countable and non-countable. Unique and non-unique reference. We swam in the Lake Ontario, and then we swam in a lake. They might have the same reference, but a lake can refer to various bodies of water, whereas Lake Ontario always refers to the same body of water. So you can see this, you can see in clearly that this sentence have the same reference, but if you read the sentence vividly, for the first is about the vivid explanation what kind of part of the interior of the Lake Ontario. Countable and non-countable reference. Both countable and non-countable noun phrase may be concrete or abstract. Concrete countable expression refers to items that are separate from one another, like apples, coins, pens, and toothbrushes, which can ordinarily be counted by one or one by one. Abstract countable phrases have such as idea, problem, or suggestion. As you know that countable is something that you can count, but non-countable is something that you cannot count. It's like idea, problem, and suggestion. You cannot count it. You can because you cannot see it. Non-countable phrases, if their references are concrete, have three kinds of reference. Some refer to continuous substances such as apples, sauce, ink, mud, and toothpaste, which do not consist of natural discrete parts. A few non-countable are like furniture, jewelry, luggage, collection whose parts have quite different names. Okay, the different ways of referring, and here I have three. First is proper names, which have unique reference like Lake Ontario or Barbara Collins, and then pronouns such as she, he, they, you, and we. And then anaphor, a noun phrase that have nouns with variable reference as the head, preceded by a determiner and possibly followed by one or more complements. Next is generic and non-generic reference. Look at this carefully. A dog makes a fine path. Dogs make fine paths. A dog is lying in the middle of the street. Dogs are lying in the middle of the street. For the first and second sentence, a dog in sentence A and B does not have a generic reference. It clearly does not refer to the whole class of dogs. And sentence A and B are equivalent, C and D are not. Sentences A and B do not answer the questions which dogs, but the questions for B and for C and D is answer the questions. Deixis. The most primitive way of referring to something is to point to it. Every language has deictic words which point to things in the physical social context of the speaker and addressee, and whose reference can only be determined by knowing the context in which they are used. English examples of deictic words include 1. Pronouns, I, you, and we, which point to the participants in any speak acts, he, she, it, and they, when they are used to refer to others in environment.